Okay, I guess we watch this one first. Dan has crashed apart. Diablo 4 somehow got worse and so did Blizzard.
Well, thank God
Oh my God.
built you. What a blessing for the community. Do you understand that it is actually statistically harder for a team to be this consistently bad than it is?
Dude, Diablo 4 review is so bad.
Probability is staggering. Do you have any idea how low our expectations are? You are a factory of sadness.
So, are you willing to admit I was right about Diablo 4? I accept your apology. I tried to tell you guys. I tried to warn you.
I warned you. I warned you.
But did you listen to me? Oh, well, most of you did, but some of you didn't. Some of you held on to hope. You poor fools.
There's always people to hold on to hope, right? There's always people holding on to hope. There's always a crowd that believes that no matter how bad something is, it's still good, you know?
I was eager to see what Blizzard had planned for Season 1 and how this new season would go.
How's the game? Is it bad?
Still playing the game. What I didn't expect.
Let me tell you honestly, Diablo 4 is the only Diablo game. Even the strongest, most dedicated Diablo fan did not follow through it. People like Violent, I did not expect him to not play Diablo 4 almost at all. Even he don't give a shit about the game.
Is that Diablo 4 would get worse with the new season update.
Really?
It actually gets so bad to the point where diehard fans who were defending it before the season have now completely given up on the game. What
Really?
on God's green earth could have possibly occurred to sway sentiment so radically? But that's what we're going
Wait, 86 is good, right? User score? Oh, nobody cares about critic review user. So user score is more important. Ooh.
So radically.
Ooh.
But that's what we're gonna find out today. Let's run through some of the dumb, scummy, shady, backwards-ass design decisions Blizzard has made with Diablo 4. This isn't for the faint of heart, guys. Because
I have not played Diablo 4 ever since I go to Vegas. So I'm actually interested and curious to know what happened to the game.
things are much worse than we could have possibly imagined. Whoopi Goldberg has demanded a refund for Blizzard because Diablo 4 cannot be played on Mac.
About my favorite game, Diablo. And suddenly now Diablo 4 is not available to me on my Apple computer.
This injustice can't.
First thing first, don't buy an Apple computer. That's step number one. If you want to play video games, don't buy an Apple computer. Oh, but Arthars a lot. I don't care. Don't buy an Apple computer. I know it sounds really insane to tell you that technology has reached today's age, but somehow Apple computer don't run games. It is what it is.
Cannot be allowed.
Give me my Apple 4 because I paid for it. I was all excited for it. I went to play on it, and I'm telling you, this really pissed me off. Tell me next time, say we're done on Apple, but let me have the 4. Let me play on the 4 because you made me so excited for it.
We are truly living in the worst timeline. Anyways, let's get on.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Now every game these days needs a battle pass, otherwise it's trash, garbage, nobody's ever gonna play it. So naturally Diablo 4 has one. This alone might make it a masterpiece in many people's eyes. However, in most games with battle passes, you expect to earn enough currency in that battle pass to purchase the next one. It's kind of a nice reward for players who don't spend money but invest the time so that they can.
Like, I mean, I don't play other games, I don't really know. But Call of Duty do it really well. Like Call of Duty, you need to buy one season battle pass. And then if you continue to always play the game, which is not difficult, to complete a season pass, they give you back enough Call of Duty points that you can use to buy the next season pass. And then there will still be spare. And you can then spend in the shop. Buy a small skin package here and there that you really like. And rolling over season, you can have so much coin, you don't have to worry about battle passes anymore. But you need to play the game, obviously, which is, good, right? Because players can play for free and still, get the whole battle pass done, right?
Get the premium rewards in the next pass. Or, you can use the currency to buy specific items, skins, emotes, whatever. They have crafted what is quite possibly the scummiest, dirtiest battle pass ever. If you complete the Season 1 pass, you earn 666 Diablo fun bucks. Ha! I see what you did there. 666. Ooh, that's so cute. Except you can't purchase anything with 666 coins in Diablo 4.
Oh,
Man,
what the
really hire a fucking 4th grade math student because your math is awful. This, of course, is the same scummy tactic Microsoft used to use with Xbox points before they ditched that concept.
So they only give you enough points to not buy anything so that you will feel that you are so close to buying something, and because you don't know whether you will still play the next season, you might as well spend it. But in order to spend it, you need to put some money in it. But hey, you know what? At least I only put a little bit of money and I can buy something. Yeah, yes, that's scummy.
In 2013,
Yes.
a decade old. Yes, it is that outdated. What Blizzard is doing right now. They create a currency, they create that currency's value, and then they make a f***ed up conversion rate so you never have exactly as many points as the
So you still have to spend $1.
That is by design, so you will always feel the need to purchase more points. But Blizzard took it a step further than that. Oh boy, they had been thinking months and seasons ahead with how scummy this is. As one Reddit user points out, if you try to use coins to only buy battle passes, look at this math. With a price of 1,000 coins per battle pass, getting 666 coins means that on your second pass, you'll have 1,332. Great, you can get a battle pass and have 332 coins left over. However, on the Season 3 pass, getting 666 coins means you will have 998, exactly 2 short of getting another battle pass. This is wild to me because even in Call of Duty, they give you enough credits in the battle pass to buy the next one. Somehow, the battle pass gets worse though, because if you purchase the Ultimate or Deluxe edition of D4, well, it's safe to say
they give you free levels.
You deserve a nice reward for spending that little extra bit of money. So they gave players a premium battle pass, one that Blizzard themselves said could be redeemed for any season. What's that? Maybe you don't like the current season gimmick of Malignant Hearts and all that? Oh, that's fine. You can redeem the pass later. However, if you scroll to the seasonal page, it will highlight the Activate Premium Pass option. So if you hit A by accident, oops.
Let's see if it counted. No!
What?
No! Bro, if that thing activated,
Did you make it crash or did the game actually just crash?
the game actually just crashed. I hope it crashed and it didn't activate it. Like, if that's a one-click activation, you, dude.
I'll be right back.
You!
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
You've just redeemed the battle pass. Oh boy, that's so unfortunate. Oh, what a bad stroke of luck you just had. Tee hee. Looks like Blizzard just made a little wucky with the battle pass in the UI. Isn't that so cute? Yeah, it's cute how desperate you are for people to keep playing this game. You have to resort to using dark patterns. Are you kidding me?
What the fuck's wrong with you?
How do your
So there's no
business
confirm.
practice
Yo, how is there no confirmation? Are you sure? Yes, no. Those needs to be there.
continue to get more
I know another game company that does that, Gameforge. They don't ask you whether you really want it. You click it, it's yours. There's no confirmation. Like, those are the worst.
scummy? How do you get worse over time? What is a dark pattern? A dark pattern is a UI that is specifically crafted to trick users into redeeming things, purchasing things that they otherwise wouldn't have, right? It's a UI without safeguards. When you click log out of RuneScape, it takes 2 clicks instead of 1. So you don't do that by mistake. This is the most basic fucking
thing.
concept when it comes to user interface design. But it's surprisingly missing in this game. You know, Epic Games used a dark pattern in Fortnite that they ended up having to pay over $500 million for. Yeah, $275 million to the FTC and $245 million to refund players that were tricked and duped into paying for things they otherwise wouldn't have. Obviously, this isn't as bad as what Epic did, but it's the same intention. This would be like if you hit the add to cart button on Amazon and it just purchased it for you and refused a refund. Nope. You click the one button. Nope. You're stuck with it. Blizzard is also refusing refunds, right? This is what they said. Once claimed, a Diablo 4 battle pass cannot be revoked. Customer service is unable to assist with removing or reissuing already claimed passes.
Common problems.
Go f yourself. The amount of predatory practices in Diablo 4 is so outrageous at this point, I'm surprised Chris Hansen hasn't shown up.
You want to explain yourself?
It's not predatory. You already paid.
These are the These are the people that is completely hopeless. Sometimes when the game is bad, it's fine. Some games are good, some games are bad. Some people are good, some people are bad. Some movies are good, some movies are bad. It's normal, right? You got one good thing, you got one bad thing. That's how life is. Such is life, right? The balance, right? One good thing, one bad thing, right? So when your game is bad, it's fine. It is okay for the game to be bad. It is okay for me as a consumer to look at a bad game and decide whether I want to decide to play or not and or invest or not. That's completely fine. What I cannot accept is when the game is clearly bad and then you got people like that to come out to defend. Now, obviously, I am not just shitting on Diablo 4 players. Final Fantasy XIV has the same people as well. Let's just say when a patch is bad or they make a wrong decision and then, you know, we are criticizing the game, which it should, because it's not good enough. We want the game to be better. And then you got people to come and say, hey, it's not that bad as you say. Like those people are the worst, not the game.
You just accidentally clicked it. Maybe read the prompts on your screen?
Objection!
Not predatory, you say. Accidentally clicked? It shouldn't be possible to misclick something like this. That's what the UI designers are for. That's what safeguards are for. Are you sure you want to redeem the battle pass?
Pressing button X dismantles the gear clearly isn't enough to prevent him from doing it. And so we actually ended up adding a safety mechanism that you don't just have to tap a button to dismantle your gear in Destiny, you have to press and hold the button, and the more valuable the piece of gear, the longer you have to hold it to dismantle it.
In their Season of the Malignant blog post, Blizzard says this: if you purchase the Deluxe or Ultimate Edition of Diablo 4 and want to redeem your Battle Pass for this season, navigate to the Season section of the shop and select the option to activate your Battle Pass. If it ain't predatory, where's the option? This is one of the scummiest things I've ever seen Blizzard try to pull. But once you start viewing Blizzard's decisions with Diablo 4 through the lens of maximizing player retention and revenue, then everything falls into place. It all makes sense.
So if you were a product person, you couldn't change the course of that company very much. So who influenced the success of PepsiCo? The sales and marketing people. Therefore, they were the ones that got promoted, and therefore they were the ones that ran the company.
I see this video before. This is a very good video. Yeah.
It turns out the same thing can happen in technology companies. So the people that can make the company more successful are sales and marketing people. And they end up running the companies. And the product people get driven out of decision-making forums.
And later we find out that they had dramatically slashed the budget for Warcraft 3 Reforged to almost nothing. And it's pretty clear to me that it came from the top, maybe even Kotick directly. They screwed the game that we all wanted to see for money.
Man, Warcraft 3 Reforged is the saddest story for me. I love Warcraft 3, man. When they want to make Reforged, I was so happy and excited. And then, luckily I didn't buy that game. Holy.
Because they thought there was no money in this.
And the companies
thanks a lot,
forget what it means to make great products.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Sort of the product sensibility and the product genius that brought them to that monopolistic position gets rotted out by people running these companies who have no conception of a good product versus a bad product.
We want to use mobile devices as the platform for a new Diablo game.
They have no conception of the craftsmanship that's required.
Dude, Diablo Immortal review is potentially the worst review of a Blizzard game I've ever seen in my life. You know how Blizzard game used to be exciting? Whenever they say something is out, it doesn't matter whether the game turned out to be good or bad. It does not matter, right? As long as Blizzard put out a game, a title, everybody is excited. And then, you know, eventually when it's bad, then whatever, right? Behind the scene or during playing the game, you criticize it or say something. That's fine. But on launch or review, it's usually high. Diablo Immortal is the worst one I've seen. How people react when it's reviewed. It's so bad. Like, for example, Blue Mage review. Blue Mage review was pretty bad. If you attended the fan fest and or the live letter when they talk about Blue Mage, you can feel that the crowd is like, that's okay. That's one piece of content in the game. Diablo Immortal is the whole game. I've never seen people so dumbfounded by announcements. It's crazy.
And they really have no feeling in their hearts, usually, about wanting to really help the customers.
So my theory is Blizzard knew players weren't going to react well to some of the changes they made in the patch. So to keep some hardcore players...
Wait, what did THD say? Fix an issue where players had hope for the future of Diablo 4. Holy shit.
Weren't going to react well to some of the changes they made in the patch. So to keep some hardcore players invested, they used a dark pattern to trick them into redeeming the battle pass.
Oh shit.
I was trying to click Season Journey.
Like the first time I got in a Legendary in an internal build, I did this. I accidentally dismantled it because we didn't have any safeguards. And I was so angry. I was ready to go over and punch somebody on the UI team.
Well, I guess I have the battle pass now. God damn it. That is sneaky, dude. That pisses me off so much. I might as well claim all my rewards.
You might as well redeem those rewards. You might as well grind out the rest of the battle pass, cause
to play the game.
See, looks like you redeemed it, fella. Better keep playing Diablo 4. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop playing this game ever for any reason. Keep playing. Old Blizzard is dead. And if you're like me, it's time you finally realize that.
Well, Blizzard is dead. It is a corpse. It is a corpse being puppeteered by Activision and Bobby Kotick. And it's going to be used as basically a factory to put the Blizzard stamp on things and
to print money,
stoke nostalgia.
You know, you younger generation that only started playing Blizzard game like very recently or just over the past few years, you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand when Blizzard was in the 90s. How awesome a Blizzard game is to us 80 babies, you know? Warcraft 2, Starcraft 1, Starcraft 2, Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft release. Those days were long gone, man. Those were the days that everything Blizzard put out is worth waiting for. Nowadays, the game that Blizzard put out is like, oh, you know, the first thought is, oh, would it be good? Back then, you don't even ask that question. It will be good. Nowadays is, will it be good? Now, that being said, I do think that World of Warcraft Dragonflight has been awesome so far. But then again, what considered awesome so far is all because how Warlords of Draenor, BFA, and how bad Shadowland was. So then they put out a decent product, Dragonflight. It turns out to be f***ing awesome. You know what I mean? So in the whole grand scheme of things in the World of Warcraft universe, is Dragonflight like one of the best expansion? No.
Get sales, and that's it. That's it.
Running out of storage space is an issue that 100% of all Diablo 4 players will run into at some point. So naturally, the new season introduces a mandatory item that takes up more inventory space. It exacerbates the issue even further. The Diablo fans have universally praised the presence of malignant hearts in the normal inventory slot. I have not heard a single person criticize this at all. The lack of a gem tab has been universally praised by all Diablo fans.
So you guys remember how people were complaining?
I've been saying that when I play.
Gems took up too much stash space. Blizzard fixed that problem. You want to know how they fixed that problem? I can guarantee you that almost nobody's going to be complaining about bag space because of gems. Because your bags are going to be filled with malignant hearts. Holy crap. But look at this. This is like 3 dungeons. I'm not exaggerating. This is 3 malignant dungeons worth of items. Are you kidding me?
If this company gave even a molecule of a about the fans, about providing the best experience for those fans, limited stash wouldn't even be something we're talking about. But why? Why is the stash space such a contentious issue? Well, it's the same reason they made teleport cost 2 seconds longer. Blizzard is trying to milk every single microsecond of playtime out of you. The less storage you have, the more time you spend micromanaging your inventory.
Look at my stash. I don't, okay, whatever. I guess we're supposed to spend even more time around with our stashes.
Blizzard, can you just cut the Why are you playing stupid games with me and the rest of the Diablo fan base? Why are you wasting your time trying to trick me and the rest of us into playing this game? Have you ever thought about making a good video game?
No!
And the game is so fun, I want to keep playing it? Whoa! Radical concept, bro! That's fucking crazy! People don't play video games because they're fun anymore. What? What is that nonsense? Enough nickel and diming us of our precious time. Just make a good video game. How is this such a radical concept? Quality of...
Okay, overall though, is Diablo 4 really a bad game? Now, okay, all these bad practices, but is the game really bad now? Because when I played when the game launched, it was okay. I don't think it was bad. It's definitely not a very good Diablo game, but I thought it was not bad. I got back the money I spent in the game via the time, I think. I don't think it's great, but it's okay. Is it really that bad? Okay, you see, now so far this video is only been talking about how predatory it is, right, to monetize the game, right? But, you know, haven't really talked about the game itself, I guess. You know?
What does that mean? I have no idea. But now because of Blizzard's dog game design, Players have to figure out their own workarounds for this. They have to create mule characters to hold more inventory. Either that, or you just have to say screw it and get rid of the items you don't want to.
I'm actually to the point where I'm gonna have to start getting rid of perfect powers that are actually valuable. In Diablo 3, when you would complete a season journey, it would give you an extra tab. Can we get 1 or 2 or 10 for completing it, please?
People shouldn't have to ask for a scoreboard in Battlefield games. They shouldn't have to ask for a Slayer play.
I cannot believe Battlefield 2042 have no scoreboard, no KD, no nothing. That is one of the reasons why I stopped playing Battlefield. Not even joking, because of how bad the scoreboard is.
In Halo. And they shouldn't have to ask for adequate storage space in a game that is all about collecting loot. And the worst part, this is by design. This is intentional. Blizzard did use its community managers to soak up the sniper bullets fired from upset fans and force those community managers to give some dumbass excuse that is so stupid it would have been better if they completely ignored this and didn't even mention it. When you see another player in-game, you load them and their entire stash filled with all their items. This is no different than when 343 said they couldn't add a Slayer playlist to Halo Infinite because of UI limitations. It's like, but you designed the game this way. You designed these limitations. No other online RPG I've ever played has ever had these issues. How the f does RuneScape?
Okay, this guy is wrong. I know of another game that I play that has got this issue. Although not as bad, but it's pretty bad. And let me tell you, my inventory is cleaner than 90% of the Final Fantasy XIV players. 90% of you has got inventory so full that you guys also have to buy extra retainer to put in your stuff. I didn't. Some games can be equally bad. Yeah?
Work. What kind of wizardry is that? My bank? Look at all these slots I have in my bank. How the hell does this game load this for every other player in the server? That is just insane, dude. Tide goes in, tide goes out. You can't explain that. How the hell did you guys get WoW to work? How did you possibly manage that? That is the greatest technical achievement in modern human history. Okay, so he's also saying that if we weren't forced to load other players and their stash inventory, right? Okay, run with me on this. If we weren't forced to do that, we could have a bigger stash. Oh no! What's that? Diablo 4 is an always online video game? Gosh, what a terrible coincidence. If only there was a way to make video games playable without an internet connection, but just technology hasn't gotten to that point yet. Hopefully someday. Oh wait, technology has caught up to that point because in the Beelzebub mod for Diablo 1, you get 50 tabs of storage right off the bat. If you can pick it up, you can store it. That's the philosophy Diablo games need to have. The Beelzebub mod apparently was also made by one guy. One guy managed to accomplish what 9,000 people at Blizzard couldn't. This is what teams are working diligently to improve so that we can have more stash ASAP. Gee, if only you guys worked diligently on this in the 6 years of development time you had. Oh man, were you guys snorting coke in the bathroom and stealing the female employee's breast milk again? Huh? Were you doing that?
See, this is why you should never do dumb shit on the internet. This shit will haunt you for years. Whenever you fuck up something, all these things is gonna come out. That's why you never want to fuck up anything on the internet. It's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. When I set out to stream, I made it very clear to myself, rather than trying to hide, it is better to not hide anything. It is easier online to not hide something than trying to hide something for years. Because once you get found out, you are done.
In the bathroom and stealing the female employee's breast milk again? Huh? Were you doing that? It's too bad there was not a single brain cell amongst the 9,000 employees who worked on Diablo 4, and not one of them thought to bring up the issue of limited storage space in an RPG about collecting loot. Not one. You expect me to believe you hired vegetables to make this game? No. Obviously, that idea is so outlandish, it can't possibly be true. So the real reason the stash is so limited is by intention. And then they say they're gonna try to introduce a gem tab in later seasons. It's gonna take time. Why are you guys so efficient? Why do you got tab in?
This is the part where I also think that developers shouldn't go. Because all these things that he says make sense. It's a problem with Diablo games, yes. When I play, I realize that why does quest item have their own tab, keys item have their own tab, but not gems? It should be default. When the whole player base think that it should be default, then you give it to them, That should be natural. What I cannot accept is that when you know that something needs to be given to the player base, and then you don't, and then when you finally did, you insist that, well, we are listening. It is because of you guys' feedback that is so valuable. That's why we do it. Like, shut the fuck up. These things should be there in the first place. So that when things like that needs to be there in the first place, and then you are like, you ask and you are receiving, it's almost like we are whiny little bitches. We are only getting it because we complain. And then you are giving it to us because of our complaints. It's almost like, man, you guys need to shut the fuck up. Here's your stash. You know what I mean? Like, the treatment is different. You know what I mean?
Later seasons. It's gonna take time. Why are you guys so efficient? Why do you guys work like a well-oiled machine when you're making the game worse? But when it comes to like easy no-brainer fixes, it's like, bro, give me 6 months for that, man. That's a tall order. Gem tab? Are you crazy? We can't just throw that together in 6 years. Come on, man. Maybe buy some items in the store. Maybe we'll work faster.
This is something that is clearly obvious, has been addressed since day one. Blizzard saying they know this needs to happen, but now we're saying that a gem tab isn't going to be there until season 2, maybe season 3. Like, it just can't take 6 months to add a gem tab. Not
clearly the UI have room for more tabs. It's obvious.
when you have 800 million in revenue, but there's things like this that are just taking too long. I mean, this is 2023. There's thousands of games. You can't take a year to add a gem tab. If you're evolving that slowly, you're dead. You're gone. It's over.
So in my Diablo 4 review, I talked about how dumb and boring the stats and itemization are. Jesus Christ, I did not do it justice. I did not even scratch the tip of the penis on how bad and maliciously designed Diablo.
Okay. Diablo games has always been like that, right? Giving you super item, and then only 1 out of the 100 item could be good, and then 1 out of those good items can be the best. That's normal, right? That's normal Diablo games, right? To be honest.
4's loot is. Okay, you want to see how crazy it is?
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them.
Holy shit. Look at all these affixes. This section alone is just
useless.
Calculating damage. Look at this nonsense. Damage while shapeshifted, damage while werebear, damage while werewolf, damage with werebear, damage with werewolf. Hey genius, how about you simplify all that into one that says damage while shapeshifted? You could do that and it'd work perfectly. Damage versus frozen, damage versus dazed, damage versus immobilized, versus knockdown, stunned, trapped, slowed, tripped. How about damage versus crowd controlled? No, that's too simple, Act Man. This is artificial complexity at its most obvious and absurd. I have never seen such an asinine method of calculating damage in any other
Okay. Over complex for no reason, right?
RPG in my lifetime.
And also that also creates time sink, because then when you get something, you want it to be the correct type out of so many types, right?
So the obvious question, once again, why is it designed this way?
To make you play more.
If you've been paying attention, you should know the answer already. I'll sum it up for you in one Reddit comment. I feel like I spend more time looking at gear than playing. That is mission accomplished by Blizzard. That was their exact intention.
They make you go back to the stash more, make you teleport longer, makes you travel point A to point B longer, makes you spend time not playing the game while looking at attributes, but you're actually technically playing the game because you're logged onto the game, yeah?
That is why there are so many affixes and pointless niche modifiers that you don't give a shit about. So you spend more time looking at the loot, more time grinding gold, so you can spend more time re-rolling those affixes that you actually want. It's no different than what they do with loot boxes. They put a bunch of dumb shit you don't care about in the loot boxes to elevate the stuff you do care about, to dilute the odds. This is not good design. This is not fun. It's not interesting or satisfying. But again, remember what I said. If you try to understand the logic of Blizzard's decisions and approach these things as if they are trying to make a good game, you're going to be confused. None of this is going to make any sense to you because you have the misconception that Blizzard is making Diablo 4 to be a good video game.
So how do you go about actually enhancing this season journey? You check out your objectives and you do things like, collect Gallow Vine, craft the chip gem. You're actually making me go out of my way to craft the gem. Like at this point, you're just telling me, do this thing because I told you to do it. and you're gonna do it because you're a bitch. Change your gear's appearance at the wardrobe. Why is this an objective? Just go to your wardrobe, change. This is literally just a list of chores, dude.
You have to look at Diablo 4 from the perspective of a morally compromised businessman whose only objective is to keep you playing longer, and they will pull out every dirty trick in the book to achieve that.
Interact with 10 waypoints. Oh, now you know why they purposely removed your waypoints that you had in the Eternal Realm so that they can then make it an objective for you to go back and collect them again. Are you kidding me? And by the way, do remember their original plan was to have you to collect all of the altars of Lilith again? This was their original plan? This is what they had planned?
Well,
Man, that is one of the reasons why I did not play hardcore. After the Eternal Realm collecting all the Lilith statue, you are telling me that if I want to play hardcore, I want to do it again. Like, I just want to play hardcore, man. I just want to play hardcore. I just want the hardcore experience. But before I start, I need to have an account, a character, to try to gather as much without dying so that I can then play a character with all those reputation stuff intact for my character that I really... No, but you don't have to. But do I really want to play a hardcore character without those free perks? No, right? But before I even play the game, I spent 2 days to get all the Lilith statue and the reputation. By the way, I haven't finished them over 2 days and not really go to play the game how I want it to be. I am just unlocking stuff.
Didn't need 30 damage affixes to play D2 for 12 years. Don't you think that having a good system will more likely retain players than artificially prolonging the game?
What you say is heresy.
You think you can just make a fun video game and people will play it for no other reason than that? That is not what the data says. That is nonsense. Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring thoroughly disprove this idea. This is why I'm so worked up, okay? Blizzard has zero respect for your time as a player. And therefore, you
know what? You know what is sad? That term has come out so much on Blizzard games. It has came up in Warzone. It has came up in Overwatch. It has came up in World of Warcraft pre-Dragonflight. And then it has come up with Diablo now. That is a very common occurrence in Blizzard game so far. The game doesn't respect your time.
Fucking zero. Damage with frost. Damage with cold. Bro. Say psych right now, dude. So with that being said, here's another $1 million question that only people with an IQ of above 160 can get right. Why did the preseason patch nerf damage across the board? So it takes longer
to
the
queue.
Only question needed to be asked in the campfire chat. Please.
Now that is definitely for me scummy. Because as a Diablo player, you want to one-shot things. You build builds for builds. You build gear just so that you can do insane multipliers, right? That's what Diablo game has always been. If you don't want that to happen, then make those gear extremely hard to get. But you give player the option that you cannot take it away. Not to mention you nerf it to the point that it takes so much longer, right? That's pretty bad, I think.
Why you believe the game is more fun after the changes than before.
Yeah,
why?
Exactly.
Because shut your mouth. That's why.
Right.
Shut the up, turn your brain off, and keep playing. Don't ever stop playing. Don't ever stop playing Diablo 4 for any...
We want to, obviously acknowledge everyone's feedback in regards to reducing player power. We know it is bad. We know it is not fun.
Can you ask the dev team why they hate me so much, as well as other sorcerers? Again, you see the same type of bewilderment from all the Diablo fans who are under this misconception that Blizzard is trying to make a good video game for them. They can't make sense of why the game is getting worse, more tedious and boring. Some of the nerfs they made are such an oxymoron. I have trouble believing this is not an inside joke, like an ironic comedy of errors. Cooldown reduction often felt mandatory due to their raw power. We imagine cooldown reduction will remain a highly desirable stat, but the penalty for not prioritizing it won't be as harsh. This stat is highly desirable by every single build, therefore we're making it worse, which in turn makes it even more desirable. This is the path we've chosen instead of buffing other builds. But that's how Diablo 4 has gotten worse. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.
Okay. Feels bad, man. I feels bad for people who waited 10 years for this. And people like Diablo enthusiasts, like even Violent, right? Violent was talking to me about how he was anticipating this game. This is going to be the game for him to play outside of 14. You know how we always talk about pre-expansion drought in 14? He thought that Diablo 4 is going to be the game. That he's going to be full-time streaming, playing it. He's going to revive his channel. He's going to make sure that he make guides. You want to create awesome content for Diablo because Diablo, right? And he plays so much. Diablo 2, Diablo 3, like so much. This one is not going to be an exception. He didn't even play Season 1 because of how bad the game is. Like, even for his standard, it's not even worth playing past preseason. That was already very telling for me how not good enough this game is, sadly. Anyway, Dan, thanks for wasting our 30 minutes plus. Can we finally watch this video?